Hey, Cowboys fans. Today we're diving deep into one of the most talked about names in the NFL coaching world right now, Brian Flores. If you've been keeping up with league chatter, you know his name keeps popping up, and for good reason. Flores has been a standout defensive mind for years, proving his ability to adapt and succeed in a variety of roles across the league. His reputation is built not only on his tactical understanding of the game, but also on his ability to elevate the performance of the players he coaches, often exceeding expectations regardless of the roster he inherits. Now, the Dallas Cowboys are at a crossroads with their defense after a challenging season, and there's growing speculation that Flores could be a game-changing addition to the team. The discussions around this have picked up pace because of his current situation with the Minnesota Vikings. Unlike most top-tier coordinators, Flores is on a contract that is set to expire, which theoretically makes him attainable for a team willing to make a strong push. This unique position means the Cowboys could realistically explore bringing him in as their defensive coordinator, and the timing is intriguing given the current uncertainties surrounding their defensive staff. Let's consider the context for a moment. The Cowboys are reportedly considering a move away from Matt Eberflus, whose recent season has been widely criticized as a disappointment compared to expectations. The defensive struggles have been noticeable, and with key departures from the roster over the past year, there's a clear need for someone who can not only organize the defense, but also inspire and lead it effectively. Flores, with his proven track record, presents an opportunity to dramatically shift the trajectory of Dallas' defensive identity. The conversations in the league suggest that if Jerry Jones is willing to back his ambitions with real financial commitment, Flores could easily become the target of a competitive push, potentially sparking a bidding scenario involving multiple teams interested in securing his talents. While historically the Cowboys have not been known for engaging aggressively in such battles, the potential upside of landing a coordinator of Flores' caliber cannot be understated, especially when the goal is to return to serious contention for a Super Bowl. Now, breaking down Flores' resume offers plenty of reason for excitement. His coaching career began in New England, where he was initially listed as a linebackers coach. However, circumstances quickly elevated his responsibilities, and he effectively became the defensive play caller after Matt Patricia departed. This period showcased Flores' ability to manage complex defensive schemes and maximize player performance, even in challenging situations. Later, as head coach of the Miami Dolphins, he faced hurdles related to team construction and offensive struggles, but his defenses consistently reflected discipline, adaptability, and innovation. More recently, with the Vikings, Flores has demonstrated the capacity to maintain defensive efficiency despite facing limitations on the offensive side of the ball and a less-than-ideal supporting cast. Even as the team enters Week 17, the defense continues to find ways to be productive, showing that Flores' schemes are resilient and effective. He has repeatedly proven that he can design and execute strategies that put his team in a position to compete at a high level regardless of the circumstances, which is precisely what the Cowboys need right now. It's also worth noting that Flores' approach to defense combines traditional fundamentals with modern adaptability. He excels at reading opposing offenses, adjusting on the fly, and putting his players in positions to succeed. His track record suggests that a team willing to embrace his vision could see measurable improvements quickly. The Cowboys, despite their historical successes, have struggled to find a defensive identity in recent seasons, and Flores represents a chance to establish a foundation that could be both sustainable and championship caliber. While some may argue about the financial implications or the competitive challenges of hiring him away from Minnesota, the opportunity to bring in a coach of this experience and skill set is rare. Flores has earned recognition as one of the elite defensive coordinators in the NFL, ranking among the top names when evaluating play calling, scheme design, and overall defensive leadership. In a league where defensive matchups often decide playoff games, securing a coach who can consistently outmaneuver opponents is invaluable. There's also the human element to consider. Flores is respected across the league for his professionalism, his ability to build relationships with players, and his commitment to accountability and discipline. This kind of culture building is crucial for a team like Dallas, which has immense talent but needs a cohesive, motivated, and strategically aligned defensive unit to reach its full potential. By bringing in Flores, the Cowboys would not only be acquiring a top-tier tactical mind, but also someone capable of shaping the team environment in a positive, results-driven way. His prior successes illustrate an ability to adapt to different rosters, elevate underperforming units, and create game plans that maximize strengths while mitigating weaknesses. For a team in transition, these qualities are incredibly valuable, and they align perfectly with the Cowboys' ambitions to contend at the highest level. Of course, any potential move comes with challenges. Minnesota may attempt to retain him with a contract extension or other incentives, which adds a layer of uncertainty. Additionally, while the idea of Flores joining Dallas is exciting, the realities of NFL negotiations, contract structures, and organizational philosophies all play significant roles in determining whether such a move can materialize. Yet, despite these complexities, the conversation alone highlights the seriousness of the Cowboys' interest and the potential impact Flores could have if he rejoined the team. His history shows that he thrives in competitive, high-pressure environments, and he has repeatedly demonstrated the ability to turn defensive units into consistent, high-performing groups. This is exactly the kind of transformation the Cowboys' defense needs as they aim to compete for playoff dominance and ultimately contend for a Super Bowl. In evaluating Flores' credentials, it is impossible to ignore the way he has consistently adapted his defensive schemes to different team contexts. Whether with New England, Miami, or Minnesota, he has shown the capacity to overcome roster limitations and maximize the talent at his disposal. His approach is methodical, disciplined, and innovative, blending traditional defensive principles with the flexibility required to succeed against the increasingly sophisticated offenses of today's NFL. For Dallas, which has struggled to establish consistency on defense, this type of coaching acumen could represent the turning point in the team's evolution. The possibility of Flores stepping into the Cowboys' defensive coordinator role generates excitement not just for what he could do schematically, but also for the influence he can exert on culture, accountability, and player development. He brings a track record of measurable success, a reputation for strategic brilliance, and the ability to adapt to the strengths and weaknesses of his roster, all attributes that align perfectly with what Dallas needs to reach the next level. Now, looking deeper into the potential challenges and opportunities, it's clear that hiring Brian Flores wouldn't be a simple transaction. While his contract situation makes him theoretically available, the Vikings still have leverage if they want to retain him. Flores has built a reputation as someone who can elevate a team's defense from good to elite, and Minnesota's front office is surely aware of his value. However, with the Cowboys potentially stepping in, the dynamics shift dramatically. Dallas has the financial resources and the organizational desire to compete at the highest level. And if they approach this strategically, Flores could be convinced to take on the challenge of transforming the Cowboys' defense. The allure of building a unit capable of contending for a Super Bowl, combined with the opportunity to operate in a high-profile market with substantial talent, creates a compelling scenario. It's the kind of challenge that a coach of Flores' ambition might find irresistible, especially considering his track record of success across multiple environments. One of the most fascinating aspects of Flores' coaching journey is his adaptability. His time in New England saw him working under a system rich with tradition and high expectations, and he learned to extract maximum performance from the players around him. Moving to Miami, he faced different circumstances, including a developing quarterback situation and a roster that required careful management. Despite these challenges, his defensive schemes consistently reflected discipline, creativity, and an ability to adjust on the fly. Now with the Vikings, Flores has again demonstrated the capacity to mold a defense capable of competing against some of the league's most potent offenses, even with limitations on the offensive side of the ball. This consistency across different teams and situations underscores why he is considered among the elite defensive coordinators in the NFL today. For the Cowboys, the potential impact of bringing in Flores goes beyond simple play calling. His presence could redefine the culture of the defensive unit, instilling accountability discipline, and a strategic mindset that maximizes player strengths. The team has historically been more recognized for its offensive prowess, but with Flores at the helm, the defensive identity could become just as formidable, providing balance and resilience across the roster. This cultural shift is essential for a team that aims to compete not just in the regular season, but in the playoffs where defensive execution often determines outcomes. Flores' experience and reputation suggest that he could quickly implement a system that elevates performance and fosters a winning mentality throughout the defensive ranks, making the Cowboys a more complete and threatening team on both sides of the ball. Of course, any move of this magnitude comes with its share of obstacles. Financial considerations are a primary factor, as hiring a top-tier coordinator like Flores likely involves significant investment. While Dallas has the resources, their history shows a measured approach to spending on coaching staff, making the negotiation process crucial. Additionally, Flores' own ambitions and career trajectory must be considered. He has already demonstrated success as a head coach and defensive leader, so any decision to move laterally to another team would require a compelling vision and opportunity to exert meaningful influence over the defensive scheme. Minnesota's willingness to match offers or retain him with incentives adds another layer of complexity, and the Cowboys would need to approach this strategically to create a situation in which Flores feels both valued and empowered to implement his philosophy. Beyond the contractual and strategic challenges, the potential acquisition of Flores would also send a message throughout the league. Securing a coach of his caliber demonstrates a commitment to excellence and a willingness to invest in the infrastructure necessary for sustained success. It signals to players, competitors, and fans alike that the Cowboys are serious about contending at the highest level. Flores' ability to develop talent, adjust game plans, and consistently improve defensive performance makes him a transformative figure, capable of reshaping a unit that has struggled with consistency. The combination of tactical expertise, leadership, and adaptability positions him as a coach who could have an immediate and long-lasting impact on the team's trajectory. Another important consideration is how Flores' presence could influence player performance and development. His coaching style emphasizes situational awareness, disciplined execution, and maximizing individual strengths within a broader scheme. This approach allows players to perform at their peak while also fostering a cohesive and intelligent unit capable of responding to complex game situations. For a team like the Cowboys, which has the talent but occasionally struggles with execution and consistency, this kind of leadership and guidance is invaluable. Looking at the bigger picture, hiring Flores represents an opportunity to redefine the Cowboys' identity on defense. He has repeatedly proven his ability to design systems that are both innovative and adaptable, providing a foundation for sustained success. The combination of strategic ingenuity, leadership qualities, and the ability to develop players makes him a rare talent in the coaching landscape. Dallas, with its resources, talent, and desire to compete for championships, presents the ideal environment for Flores to showcase his abilities. While there are challenges to navigate, including contract negotiations, league dynamics, and the inherent risks of any major coaching move, the potential upside is enormous. A successful integration of Flores into the Cowboys' coaching staff could immediately elevate their defense, reshape their identity, and position them as a legitimate contender in the NFC and beyond. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. Whispers are growing louder around the league that the Cowboys may have quietly pulled off a move capable of reshaping the identity of their defense. The rumored signing of veteran edge rusher Carl LAWSON has sparked conversations inside scouting circles and among rival executives, all wondering if Dallas has just found a missing piece for its front seven. Nothing has been framed as a blockbuster announcement, but the implications, if confirmed, could be significant. LAWSON's name carries weight. When healthy, he has shown the ability to win one-on-one battles with speed, leverage, and a relentless motor that offensive tackles struggle to neutralize. Sources close to the situation suggest the Cowboys see him not merely as depth, but as a situational disruptor who can tilt the field in critical moments. The idea is simple. Add another proven pass-rushing threat and force offenses to make uncomfortable choices at the line of scrimmage. Internally, the move is being viewed as low risk with potentially high reward. Dallas has invested heavily in athleticism and versatility across its defensive front, and LAWSON's skill set fits neatly into that philosophy. Coaches reportedly believe his presence could unlock more creative looks, allowing linebackers to flow freely while the pocket collapses from the edges. Even if LAWSON is rotated rather than featured, his impact could be felt in fresher legs late in games and more consistent pressure without heavy blitzing. There is also a broader narrative at play. The Cowboys have been searching for ways to turn defensive potential into sustained dominance, particularly against elite quarterbacks. Adding a battle-tested rusher suggests an aggressive mindset, a signal that the organization is unwilling to rely solely on internal development. Around the league, some see this as a savvy chess move, the kind that rarely grabs headlines but often shows up on film. For now, it remains a rumor, one fueled by speculation and quiet confidence from those who believe Dallas is onto something. If Carl Lawson truly becomes part of the Cowboys' rotation, the front seven may soon be talked about not just as talented, but as feared. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.